Hi, this is Demont and you are watching Salesforce Introduction to Objects. So how we are going to define objects? Objects is the table representation of Force.com platform database. For database table there are columns, you can write trigger, you can create data flow from one table to another, you can create relationship between two tables. So this kind of all the functionality which are available in table will also available in Salesforce objects. Salesforce provide two kind of objects, one is standard object, one is custom object. For standard objects, those are vanilla application objects. That means when you are provided any Salesforce org by Salesforce, or you create any org from Salesforce, whatever applications, whatever objects will be available, those are standard objects. To create custom object, you need to define a custom label, you can create custom columns, custom fields, you can create trigger, number of applications, number of parameters, number of attributes you can create for custom objects. For standard objects, it also provides page layouts, which is the UI representation of that object. So to enter data for a particular field and to be stored into that database, into the Force.com database in the table as a record. So all kind of similar functionality with database table and here in Salesforce objects. Now in Salesforce I'll show you, these are the, now you go to setup and here in customize you will see all these standard objects. You will see account, you will see lead, campaign, contact, note, opportunities, all kind of sales, marketing, call center or service cloud related objects like case, solution, all this kind of objects configuration you will find here. Now for an object there are fields, which is the column of a database table. There are triggers, there are validation rules, there are page layouts, which is the UI representation. There are record types, which defines what type of records is it, what are the fields will be available in the page layout. Is actually record type controls the pick list for a particular object and the page layout. So we will discuss in later as well. And different settings. So for this, for each and every object there should be number of parameters, but number of attributes. Now these are standard objects. Now for custom objects, you need to go to create and click on object. In object you will see how to create an object. There is one button, new custom object, and once you click you will be able to create one custom object providing some data. Now first we go with standard object. What is standard object? For example, this is account is one standard object of Salesforce. As I told you that it comes with Salesforce when you create any Salesforce org. Now in account you can see what are the fields available, account name, account number. In campaign you will be see what are the fields, different campaign fields, campaign owner, campaign name, expected response, all this kind of standard fields which is related to campaign are available. So these are different data type field. So for data type of Salesforce field, you have to create one custom field for that to see. So for example, we go to account. In account there are a number of custom fields also created, so we are going to create one field. Once you try to create one field, you will be able to select what type of fields you want to create. So these are different type of fields available. Now there is relationship between two objects, as relationship defines by these two fields: lookup relationship and master detail relationship. So in account you cannot create master detail, as account has to be always parent of other objects. So if you want to create lookup, if you want to see how we relate this master detail and lookup relationship, see our next video, where we have defined what is the difference between lookup and master detail. Now there is another external lookup relationship, where you can create external relationship between external object, where data source is external database. Maybe you can use integration for that. Now I am going to create one custom object so that you can understand how this object is created. So for example, my first custom object, this is the name, and you have to provide the plural name also. Now here you will see help text definition. So there is one help button here once you create the object, and if you want to visit help and training for that, to understand how does this custom object works, you can define this link, or if you want to provide some custom information, you can create one Visualforce page and you can define here, as there is no page created yet, so the option should be help. Now this is the record name. So once you create the record for a specific object, this is the name of the object. So this could be auto number and this could be text. So for example, you are creating one object which is customer information. So here it could be customer information. If you are creating any bank account, then you can provide auto number, so the record name should be one auto number. So account number name should be auto number, could be auto number. Now if you want to create any object which is required to have a specific number in a proper in increasing order, in that case you can use auto number, otherwise you can keep text. Now this I will show you after creating this object. So I am keeping this as text. Now you can define what are the different feature, like if you want to create analytics report on this, you can click allow reports. If you want to allow activities like task and event creation, you can click on allow activities. If you want to track field history, you can click on this checkbox, like for a specific value change of a field you can track. Now you can allow in chatter group also to access this object record, and here is the object classification, allow sharing. So it should be go with different sharing model, like to restrict the record accessibility by user. So one user will be able to see some records and another user will not be able to see the records if sharing settings is defined. Now allow bulk API access. So if you want to access these object records in a bulk API mode, like huge number of records at a time, if you want to perform the DML operation, then you can check on this. If you don't want to use that bulk operation, you can restrict that. Now if you want to allow streaming API access, then you can click on this. Like this will, like, based on the data change, one notification will be sent to you. So for example, for any event, for any specific action where SOQL query is defined, so if any record insert update which satisfy that SOQL query or anything, then this API one notification will be sent to you. We will discuss this in later as well. So there is deployed status. If this is in development, then this object will not be shown to the will not be accessible to the user, although the tab is on. If it is deployed, then it will be in deployed status. Then you can perform allow search option also, and you can add object creation option like add note and attachment. So these are different attributes. Now there is one option for launch new custom tab. So if you click on this and click on save, then one tab, which is the shortcut for accessing this object, will be launched. So we select one tab style. There are different tab style here, so you can define your own style as well. So from here you select one and click next, and here is the custom tab visibility. So for different profile, you will be able to restrict the visibility of this tab. So I will restrict the visibility for only system administrator, for other profiles, and will be visible to only system administrator. So if we set default on for system administrator and click next, and then we are going to include it for different applications. So these are the applications, app menu, these are the apps available. So I will restrict it and will include in sales tab only. So I click save. Now this object is created. You can see this is my object tab. If I go to here, go to this tab and click on new, then I'll be able to see this is the text field, this is the name field which we have created. So these are the different standard fields. So whenever you create a new object, these standard fields comes automatically along with this object. For each and every object creation, these standard fields are automatically created. So this is the object name, this is the name which is text field. So this is the text field. If you change the name field to auto number, so auto number is that there is one proper format you have to follow. So if you provide a hyphen 000 and start number is 1 and save it, sorry, this should be second bracket, and save it, then if you refresh, sorry, if you click on new button, then you will be not asked to create any record. But if you save it, one record will be created with object name as A001 hyphen 001. Now you can change this one also. If you click edit and set this one as YYYY MM and DD, and put hyphen in between each one, everyone, and save it. Now if you go to this object and click new and save it, then you will see, sorry, this is the second bracket happen, so we need to put second bracket here so that it will display the month and the year. So this is how we create create the define the standard field name. Now we can create multiple custom field for object. So for example, we create first auto number, so it will be system generated auto number. So you can use this auto number for different purpose, like for example auto number field. Now this is the display format as explained before, so we are just providing this random number and provide for example, and this is the starting number. Now generate auto number for existing record also, so the records which we have created, it will generate the auto number. Now this auto number can also be used as external ID, so that if you want to offset any record for this object using external data loader or API, this auto number field can be used for external identifier. Just remember this. Okay, now you can define the help text for this field also. So help text would be demand help text auto number, and can be used as external ID. Okay, now I click next. So next page will be the field visibility. So there are different profiles. We have the system admin profile also, so you can define if this field will be visible for these profiles which is related, for which any user is assigned to. So if you restrict the visibility for this profile, so this field will not be visible to that user. So during field creation we can define the field level security also. Then we click next. Now it comes the page layout. So for this object we have one page layout, which is this. So this page layout contains this field, created by field, last modified by field, owner field, some related list, and these buttons. So this is the page layout. So it is the page layout is the UI representation for this object, from where we can insert record, we can update record, we can delete record. Now if you want to add this field into this page layout, for example when we are creating the record, this is the insertion page layout, edit page layout. So this will be added to this page layout. If we click on save, this has been added, this field has been created, which is auto number, and has been added to the page layout. Now if we go to this tab and click on new, we will be able to see this. As this is the auto number, it will not be displayed into the page, but the value will be created. Now if we click on save, we will be able to see this is the auto number field. It's having a specific help text, and this is created. So this is 3 and this is the month as we defined. Okay, and we can see also that for previous records the field is also created, field's value has been populated. So this is the auto number field. Now we are going to create field for formula field. So in this formula field you will see number of formulas also available. So we will discuss this formula field later, so that you need to identify with the existing different type of fields, like text field, like pick list field, number field, so that after that we will use the formula field to generate different formulas. So let's one checkbox field. So in our next videos you will be able to see how these fields are working. Look up how we are going to create the relationship between objects and objects. First we create one checkbox, and provide the name checkbox field and click next. If you want, you can also create one help text or provide the description. It is always mandatory to provide the description for a field, so that when anyone working on a specific application, if another person started working on the application, will be able to understand why this field was created before. So for example, I provide the description as for tutorial purpose this field has been created. Now we go to next. Here we can again see that the field level security, so which profile will have the visibility of this field. And this is the page layout. So this checkbox field has been created. Now if we go to this object and try to create one record, we'll be able to see the checkbox. This is the checkbox, and we save it. So one record is created with this checkbox field. Now this checkbox field also added into the previous records also, but the default value is unchecked. So if you want to change the value, you can do the change. Now we can go to the field in a shortcut way. This is the shortcut quick menu. So from here you go to the view fields and you will see the custom fields. Now we are going to create another field. Is the date. There are date fields. You can create date field, you can create date time field, email field, which will validate if the value which has been entered is having proper email format or not. Then we can use geolocation, where user define the geolocation using latitude and longitude component and can be used to calculate the distance. So for example, if we create the geolocation field, for example, the name of the field is my location and decimal place is 2 and degree, minute, second. Now you can provide the description, help text, and also you can provide the required. So I click next. So you can define two different distance between two fields. So one could be static and another could be dynamic. So this is how you can define the location for a specific location. So for example, for this record, this is the my location field. If I click on edit, I will be asked for latitude and longitude. So you can also use the API or integration or web service to provide my location details here. For example, you place one map here and you pick a location and store the latitude and longitude from that map, and you click on save. Also, for example, this is San Francisco, where the latitude is this and longitude is this. So if you click on save, you will see this is a specific location degree has been created. Now you want to provide one distance formula field. Now we will use how to use the formula field. If we click on new and click on formula, and provide distance from Washington DC. So it should be text. Now this is the advanced formula editor tab, and this is simple formula editor tab. Now we want to create the distance, so these are different functions has been defined. So for distance function, this is the distance function. You click on this and provide location. So location should be the field name. So this is my location field. Click insert, and this is the location from which you want to, between this location and this location we want to create the distance. So it should be geolocation of another. So this is the geolocation and of latitude and longitude. So in this map I am going to Canada, and here I copy the latitude and the longitude, and the unit should be in kilometer. For example, you can define meter also, and check for syntax if there is any syntax error or any other errors there. Formula result is data type number, compatible, unexpected, data type text. So there is some issue. Okay, you provide here as text of this, which will return the number. Now you check and it is perfect. Now click on next and save. So it should be read only field, you cannot change any value. Now if you click on refresh, you will see this is the distance between this and Canada. So it should be Washington DC. Let me put the address Washington DC. So this is the Washington DC coordinate 38, 90 and 70. So if we go to this field, click on edit and provide the geolocation as this and this. Save. Now if I refresh this, we'll see there has been some difference. Now if we change it to number and delete this and check, it is okay. Now save it. Now if you refresh this, it should be different as this. So you can see that, so the distance from this location to Washington DC is this kilometer. So this is how we can calculate, use this geolocation field. Now going with another field is there is currency field, date time, email, number, percentage, phone number, pick list, multi-select pick list, text area. So you need to understand what is the character you can allow to take and allow in text area. There is text area long, where you can enter up to number of characters, so you can define your own length of the character. And this is the text rich, where you can include image, link, and you can do the formatted text like coloring of the text and everything. So let me show you. And this is the length. You can also define more than this length, but this is huge number of length actually. If you click on edit, you'll be able to see this field. So if you type my fast rich text field, now among these you can define bold, rich, insert image, and you can do underline. So different kind of functionality are there. You can do the formatting, different formatting of the text. You can write not sure HTML will work or not. No, it will not work, but this kind of rich text you can define. Now going with encryption type field. This is text encrypted field, so it will use classic encryption. What is classic encryption? You can take a look into this help. So these are the different type of encryption for encryption type field, like classic encryption, platform encryption. So these are different features, like what kind of encryption algorithm will be used. You can see the difference. This is a paid product, additional fee applies. And text field type should be up to 175 characters, and I think it does not have any limit or anything. And you can generate, edit, export, and destroy key. There is also option for that. You can use API access for both, like you can export and import. But for platform encryption, different kind of feature is available for this platform encryption. So you can take a look on this. Masking type characters, masking for both cases, it is available. Email template value respective view encryption data permission, so you can view encrypted field in the email template also. Encrypted standard field for platform encryption, it is supported. For this classic encryption, it will not support. So I'm giving an example here, like how you are going to encrypt field in encrypted field. Length is, for example, 100, and as we can see that this cannot be used as external ID obviously, and you can use required, and you can use masking for different kind of, like mask all character. So if you use star, it would be like this. If you use masking to last four character clear, so it would be like this. If you want to use credit card number, so you can define proper pattern, national insurance number, social security number, and social insurance number. So this kind of formatting would be available. So you can click next and next and save. So if I open this and click edit, So I'll be able to see this is the encrypted field. If I click value and save it, it will be encrypted field value, so it will not be able to see, but in backend the data will be stored in an encrypted format. So this is how we can use different data type for custom field. Now for master detail and lookup relationship, how relationship is created between object and object, and in which case we should use master detail and in which case we will use lookup, it will be explained in our next video. Now there is validation rule. For validation rule there are different formulas. Also for formula field there are different formula, so we will discuss how to use these different formulas for different cases in our another video. See the description for more details. Then we have the trigger for specific object, so you can create trigger for a specific event like different DML operation like insert, update, delete. So on this kind of event specific trigger will be executed. We can modify the page layout, like as you can see this is the page layout. Now you can define which number will be which field will be displayed on this page layout and which field will not, how this will be displayed, like in a read-only format or not. That is also possible to display using page layout. For page layout you can remove a field from the page layout so that it will not be shown into this page, and these all are read-only fields. So there is also option to make it read-only or required. You can see this is read-only and required field. If it is required, then read-only would not be possible. If it is read-only, then required is not possible. So this kind of field properties can also be set from page layout, and we can create different section. For example, I am adding section as rich text section. So this is that section has been created. You can use drag and drop to move different field from one section to another. Now this is the related list, which is the child object records shortcuts, so that you can easily access. Now you can add different buttons into the page layouts, or you can remove it from the page layout. So button section is here, so you can add this different button into this section and you can remove it. Now different type of properties are there. For related list, these are the different related list where you can see what are the related records for other objects available for this record. So you click on save and you will be able to see in a different format of this page. So you can see this is a different section and where this page layout is available, and this is new button has been added. So this is the overview of the custom object. Now there is field set, so it's a compound field. You can create like address, which will contain text field, number field at a time, and you can also create compact layout. This is a system layout for this. Now there are different search layout. For search result display, this is the place where you can set what are the columns will be displayed. For example, if you search for specific object, for example using this one, you'll see this is the returned result, but this is the column it is being showing here. So you can set different column from the search result layout. You click on edit and click what are different field you want to show and save. Now if you search, you'll be able to see different layout also. Now for lookup dialog, so if you create any child object and place this object lookup field into that child object page layout, on clicking of the lookup dialog you will see these are the fields available as a search result into the lookup. So you can set what are the fields will be displayed into that search lookup from here. Now there is one phone lookup which is used for call center integration, so any user can see these fields on the phone on clicking of this lookup of this object. Now this is the first custom object tab. So if you click on this tab, you will see what are the fields available here. So you can change the field from here. Now this is the list view. So this is the list view. If you click on go, you will be able to see what are the fields you have set. Now what are the buttons are available. So fields are not applicable. You can define the list view fields from here, clicking on edit and define the fields. Also you can define the filters. So list view details will be explained in next videos, but what are the buttons will be shown for this list view can be defined here. So these are the buttons. You can create new, change owner, all this. Then search filter fields. So what are the fields will be available for the search, you can define here. And you can create custom button for specific action. So custom button could be URL, could be JavaScript, could be Visual Force page. So on clicking on this button, it will redirect to a specific URL, or it will redirect to it will execute JavaScript. So for example, if I click on google.com and say here Google, it should be HTTPS, and clicking on save. So you need to add into the page layout for this. Now you can easily modify your page layout from here. So click on edit and go to button. Okay, it should be detail page button. Okay, so this is detail page link, it would be added as link. So if you go to this page, and we can see custom link here, Google, so we can place here also. And if you want to create any button for that, so it has to be detail page button. So for example, if I click on this Google, it will open Google in a new tab. But if you want to get this as a detail page button, you click on save and modify the page layout. Go to button, sorry, here reference is used, so you need to remove the page layout link, and then only you can save. Now if you go to this page layout and click edit layout and click button, now you can see the Google button is available. So it will be available in custom button section, and you have to click save. Now if you click on Google, you will be able to see this is open in a new window. So this kind of different functionality is available. So for button different functionality we will discuss in our discuss in another video. You will be able to find it out here in our playlist. What are the properties, how we can create button, or all this. Now for custom object, there are different properties also. Record type. So record type is nothing but which controls the page layout and the pick list for a specific object. So it controls the pick list. It defines which object which user will have the access of which pick list value, and which user will have the access of which page layout, so that for a specific object, for example for specific object product, which user will have different products. Like for electronics product, we can create record with different specification. For home and appliance product, we can create different specifications for specific record. So single object we can create different types of record. So this is how we define the custom object. So in your next video you will see how we define the relationship between two objects. Now there is another is object limits. So you can find different object limits. So just to explain another thing is that this geolocation type field, it contains it is taking three fields limit. So as we can see, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 custom objects, 6 custom fields. So it will take total 8 custom fields, because this is one field and another is longitude and latitude, so total 3. So it's taking total 3 count limit. Okay, so this is how we create the object which stores the data for specific record, and it is accessed using this object detail page layout, from where it can be updated, deleted and modified. Thank you. Visit our next video for relationship between two objects, or creating multiple relationship end to end, how to create ERD diagram, how we can define different data model for specific application. Thank you. Please subscribe.